everyone, my name is Jade. This is Buddy, who is our rescue dog from Amicii Dog Rescue in Romania, and back there fast asleep we have Kitty. And in today's video I'm going to be talking all about how to apply for a rescue dog and how to find the perfect dog for you and your family. Ever since I shared about adopting Buddy on YouTube and Instagram, I will link his two previous adoption videos down below. I have been getting lots of comments from people saying it's really hard to find a dog, I keep applying and getting no reply, or I don't think rescues will accept me, I don't know where to start. So I just wanted to make a video to kind of round up all of my top tips and all of the things that helped us find our little buddy guy, to help any of you who want to adopt. It really is one of the most rewarding things you could ever do. I mean, look at this little angel. It's quite deceptive, he's being very calm and chill here, but he's actually a little monster. He's only 9 months old, so he's a ball of energy, but he's been sleeping, which is why he's so chilled. But yeah, adopting him is one of the best things we've ever done, and if I can play any part in connecting someone with their future dog, then that would make me the happiest person in the world. So I really hope this video is helpful, and let's get into it. The first thing that I would recommend you do before you even start looking for a dog is prepare your home and your lifestyle and make sure you are ready for a dog. So for us, as we already had a dog, this was a lot easier, but if this is your first dog or you don't currently have a dog, then some of the things that you might want to look at is preparing your garden and outdoor space. So a lot of rescues won't rehome to you unless your fence is a certain height, which is normally, you're right there bud, normally around 6 foot I think, just to prevent the dog from escaping. Rescue dogs are very prone to trying to get away. Obviously it's quite new and scary for them, so until they feel comfortable with you they may try to escape. So they like your fences to be super high, and also you have to make sure that all boundaries are completely secure and there's no gaps in fences or hedges where dogs can escape. So to avoid you finding your perfect dog, applying it and getting rejected because your home doesn't meet the criteria, it's really good to prepare and do all of this beforehand. Similarly, I find a lot of people assume that they won't be able to adopt a dog because they work full time. And whilst there are some rescues that won't even consider you, there are a lot of rescues that are more than happy to rehome to people who work as long as they have a suitable plan in place. So for example, if you know you're going to be out of the house for 7 to 8 hours, you could look into doggy daycare, where someone will come and drive to your house, pick up your dog, take them to their doggy daycare centre and drop them back off, which is a great way to keep your dog entertained and have company all day if you're at work. Alternatively, you could get a dog walker who can come in for an hour up to a couple of hours and either take your dog on a walk on their own or group walks, or you could have a family member who might be able to look after your dogs for you. But I think whatever it is, as long as you have a plan ready to go that you can share with the rescue, then that will set you up in the best way possible to be successful with your application. It's also a great idea, if you don't currently have a dog, to look around in your area and find vets. So just find a vet that you know you can take them to, because when you adopt a dog you will want to take them fairly soon to the vet just for a checkup to make sure they are all okay and ensure all of their needs are taken care of. And if this is your first ever dog, it would be really good to do a lot of research before you get the dog about how to care for a dog and just all of their needs, because although dogs are just cute and fluffy and lovely and cuddly, they have a lot of complex needs and desires, and you want to make sure that you are giving them everything they need to have the happiest life possible. So whatever your current situation or lifestyle, just doing a lot of research and planning before you even start looking for a dog will set you up to not only be successful in finding your forever dog, but also in providing the best home for that dog for the rest of their life. So the next step, once you have done all of this research and preparation, is to find some rescues where you might be adopting your future family member from. So of course there are the big national well-known rescues that most people have heard of, and these are definitely great places to look, but typically we'll probably see a much higher volume of applications because they are so well known. So it's also really great to look at smaller local independent rescues and also rescues that bring dogs from abroad. So when we were looking to add a new family member, we did look at all of these options. We looked at the big national rescues, we looked at our local rehoming centres. We don't have too many near us, but we did look at the ones that we do have. And then we started to look at rescues that bring dogs from abroad, because often in a lot of countries in Europe and even further afield, there are huge homeless dog populations. And something that we don't typically see in the UK is street dogs, but this is a big thing in lots of different countries all over the world. So there is a huge need for those dogs to be adopted. So I would definitely recommend that that is an avenue that you explore when you are looking into finding your dog. So some great ways to discover rescues, because if you are new to this whole world, it can be really overwhelming. You know about the main obvious ones, but it might be difficult to find ones beyond those. Of course, there is the obvious of just Googling dog rescue and your area, and you can see what comes up. But I would also recommend on Facebook searching kind of rescue groups. So there are a lot of forums. For example, I'm in one, I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's something like Adopt a Small Rescue Dog. And on there, people just share adverts from all of the rescues all over the UK or places that rehome to the UK who have small dogs available. So if you know you want to adopt a small dog, and I'm sure there are lots of similar things like adopt a greyhound or adopt a staff or whatever the type of dog that you know you may want is. I think these groups are so valuable, and they're also great ways to discover lots of different rescues, because on this little dog rescue forum that I'm on, people just share rescues from all over the UK and ones that bring dogs in from abroad too. So it can be a great way to discover new rescues, and then you can start looking directly on their pages as well. Similarly, I would recommend following people who have rescue dogs or who are big rescue advocates on Instagram. So I follow a lot of people with rescue dogs on Instagram. You can find them just through searching #rescue dog. I've just kind of organically come across them over the years, and people who are advocates for rescue dogs tend to post lots of available dogs at all different rescues, and that can be a great way to find a dog. So of course, when you are going with a smaller, independent, lesser known rescue, you want to make sure that they are reputable. So I would definitely recommend doing a lot of research into the rescue, and if you can, speak to people who you can see that have rescued from them before. I will put a link in the description of rescues that I did quite a lot of research on and that we were looking at when we were adopting Buddy, so that might be a good place. Buddy, he loves to have a little grumble in his sleep, but yeah, that might be a good place to start your research. There's quite a good range of rescues all over the country, because if you can be flexible with travel, it doesn't really matter where you're located if you are happy to travel to meet the dog. So that brings me on to the next point, and that is to follow the Facebook and Instagram and just any social media accounts of the rescues that you would like to adopt from. So at the moment in particular, because of what is going on in the world at the moment, lots of people are wanting to adopt dogs, which is amazing, but it also means that some dogs are not even making it onto the website of rescues pages. They will just get posted on the Facebook or Instagram account, and then people can fill in the application form on that rescues website, but they won't even make it to the website. So if you're not using Facebook or social media, you could miss out on your perfect dog. So I would definitely recommend following them on Facebook and Instagram and just checking. I mean, it depends how intense you are and how soon you want to adopt, but I knew we really wanted to adopt ASAP, so I was checking the pages of all of the rescues multiple times every day. That's maybe a bit too much, maybe once a day or every other day would be fine. But Buddy is one of those dogs that was posted on Facebook and never made it to their website. So if I hadn't been obsessively looking at their Facebook page, we wouldn't have adopted him, and that would be very sad as he is our little baby. So following on from that, once you have found lots of rescues that you are interested in and you have followed them on Facebook and social media and you're obsessively checking them, it is worth familiarizing, that's a hard word to say, familiarizing yourself with their adoption procedures. So for example, a question I get quite often is, I have a child who is maybe 4 or 5 and I don't think any rescues will look at us. There are some rescues that do have a certain set age limit, so you want to kind of look at the about and like the info pages on the rescues websites where they will specify we do not rehome to families with children under 7, for example, and you know there's no point you looking there because that is their rule. And I think rescues are often inundated with people saying, oh, but my child is dog savvy, and that could totally be the case, but certain rescues just have those rules and they're not going to bend them, so there's no point you looking on their page because you are not going to be able to rehome from them. But there are lots of rescues who are totally open to homing dogs with children, especially puppies. So Buddy, we adopted him when he was about 4.5 months, and he was originally found with his brother and his sister on the street, and both his brother and sister have ended up in families with young children. And I think Amicii typically do tend to rehome a lot of their younger dogs with families with children. And I know Underdog International is also a charity that's really passionate about connecting children with dogs, and just about that amazing bond that you can form with an animal by growing up with a dog. So I think they are totally open to rehoming with children. So I would just recommend doing your research and looking at the policies on a rescue's website. This also applies to working full-time or any other kind of things about your lifestyle that might be an obstacle. Just do your research so you know you're not wasting your time looking at a rescue that won't rehome to you. And then you can focus all your energy on the rescues who would be open to rehoming to you, and you can find your perfect family member from there. Whilst you are familiarising yourself with certain rescues requirements, it's also a really good idea to familiarise yourself with the procedure of applying. So for example, Amicii will post the dogs on Facebook, but you can't just comment and be like, hey, can I have this dog, or message them and ask. You have to fill out the adoption form on their website. So it's really good to know that, because say you see a dog that you really like on Facebook and you message them like, hey, I'm interested, what should I do? Often rescues are run by volunteers, they are overworked, super busy, and they don't have time to read all of the comments and respond to them. So you might miss out on the chance of applying for that dog, but if you just had a little look on their website, or often they'll have pinned posts on their Facebook pages, it will say their adoption procedures, so you will know that, cool, I've seen this dog, I just need to remember their name and put it at the top of the adoption form that you can find on their website. And on the note of application forms, you might have to apply for a few dogs before you are successful, and a lot of application forms ask very similar questions. So there'll be a section kind of tell me about you and your family and any other animals you may have. So I actually had a Word document where I wrote little paragraphs about our family, about Kitty and me and Matt, and just our lifestyle, our work schedule, so that I could just copy and paste that into the application forms and didn't have to remember and retype it every time. But luckily Buddy is the first dog that we applied to adopt, so I didn't need to use that. But I guess I have it saved for future dogs. So I am ready to go as soon as I'm able to convince Matt that we are ready for dog number 3. So my final point is going to be a frustrating one. I know I would have found this really frustrating if someone told me this when we were looking, but you have to be persistent and patient. So you may not get accepted to adopt the first dog that you apply for, especially at the moment. Rescues are receiving such a high volume of applications per dog, which is amazing. But I know if you are looking to adopt, it can be really disheartening if you put yourself out there and you don't get accepted. But often there is a really good reason for that. Rescues are super experienced, they know what they're doing, and they know how to match up a dog to a human and make sure that you will fit really well into each other's lives and set you up to have the best possible life together. I know it can be frustrating, but you just need to keep checking back every day or whenever you kind of have a chance. So if your application doesn't get accepted, I know it's really hard and of course you're going to be upset, but don't let it deter you. There is the perfect dog for you out there, and you just have to keep looking and you will find the dog for you. I'm so happy that you are watching this video, as it means that you are considering giving a rescue dog a home, which makes me happier than anything in the world. There really are just so many dogs who need a loving, kind home, and I hope that you are able to find the perfect dog for you very soon. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other questions about adopting, I'm always happy to answer them, so please leave them below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and bye from me and Budgie. We will see you very soon. Bye.